Hello, I'm Chloe Louise Hay from BeHealing.com and I made a new pick a card read for you. This time it's your past, present and future of your love life. Now I'm just not going into the surface level of it as I don't in all of my readings. I'm going into something from your past that has a significant impact on your present in your love life. It could have been from long ago and I think it is in these readings this time. But it has a significant impact and it's the lessons behind that and the energy behind that and what you really need to know about what was really going on behind that in the past. Your present situation now and the stuff that is connected to that stuff in the past of what's going on right now, maybe what you need to deal with and let go of in this present part. So the stuff that's behind it all in the present. Now, each of these crystal, flower and shell readings has got a deeper dive as well, which is the future part of it. So what's coming in based on all of this stuff into your life, like the next step of it, what's coming next, and possible timelines for that. So if you're interested in that, toward the end of each of these readings, I'll be popping a link up there for that. You can find a link for that deeper dive, that extended reading with the future part in the description box and in the comments below. That's where you can also find your timestamps to jump ahead to your reading as well. Now this is a timeless reading, so whenever you get into it is good to go. So all you need to do now is take your pick. Which one do you want? Would you like the crystal? Would you like the flower? Or the shell? Take your pick now. Don't forget to click like on this video down there. Leave a comment as well as you're watching it, even if it's just to say, hey, leave me your suggestions for what you want me to do these pick a card reads for in the future. And come along to my live show, Psychic Cafe, sometime. I'll give you a mini read for donations in there. You can click on the subscribe button along with that notification bell. And when you're down there, click on the Be Healing thing that's down there on my channel page. And you can see the next show laying in wait and come along for a mini read in there. I would love to see you. So, crystal, flower or shell, I'll see you in your reading. Enjoy. If you chose the crystal, then this one's for you. Crystals, let's find out about your love life, past, present and future. Now, as always, the future part of it is going to be in a deeper dive and extended reading. So if you find that the past and the present part is your story, could be your story, then you might want to get that for the future part of it. I'll go into timelines for the future part of it as well. Of course, I'm going into the depths, the things that are behind it, the underlying lessons of the past. And so maybe the past part is when you met your person, maybe when you met someone significant. It could be another significant time in a relationship as well, something that's pertinent to what's going on, the lessons behind that and all of that. It's the deeper stuff. It's not just what's going on, because you know that's right. You know what's going on. So keep on watching if you're interested in that. If you're interested in that deeper dive for the future part of it, toward the end of this reading, I'll be popping a link for it up there. There's also a link in the description box and in the comments. So let's get some general cards out about your love life first to see what this is all about. General cards for crystals first about their love lines. Got two out first. Okay, let's see. Coming of age, so there's a maturing going on in your relationships. Time to walk alone. So you might have had a separation at the moment, or in the past, a separation, or yeah, it could be ongoing in the moment, or just single at the moment while you're kind of maturing. Yeah, very well could be a break in a relationship while somebody is kind of growing up or dealing with things. There's been catalysts going on here as catalysts. And night magic. So there's been things happening, not signs of synchronicity, more like tower moments, stuff that have been kind of forcing you into change or things stepping in the way of a relationship to force you to level up, to force you both to mature and make changes in your lives. Night magic would suggest that there could have been a lot of communication going on, but only at night. You know, that kind of booty call kind of an energy. And so this relationship hasn't really been moving forward in a real kind of a way, because if it's just booty call kind of energy, if it's just like messages at night when like there's nothing else going on, if there's no one else there, then that's not great energies. And so this could have been kind of kept going on a very superficial level with very low energy like that while change is going on. So this could be a relationship that we're talking about for you, crystals, where it's been in and out while you're having to level up and deal with things in your life and maybe mature in your relationships and realize that you deserve more, or they need to be behaving better in relationships and offering more in relationships. So let's find out more about the past. So something that's gone on in the past in your love life, at a significant point that has something to do with the energies that you're in at the moment, or the relationship that you're in at the moment. What were the past energies for Crystal's love life? That's got something to do with this, something to do with you maturing and realizing you deserve more, is what it feels like to me. Two of Wands. There was a point in time where you had a choice, maybe between two people, where it's a choice to take action or not to take action. So it feels like at the moment that someone was asking you out or something like that, you had a definitive choice to make. Tell us more about this past energy. Four of Pentacles. You chose to hold back. So it was a no from you. You held back, or you didn't respond to it, or you didn't call them back, or you didn't, you just held back. Now, whether that was due to fear or what, I don't know. Let's find out. Two of Wands. Seven of Inspiration. This is a card of protecting yourself. So it feels like red flags were shown, or you felt those red flags. Now, that is not necessarily true. Sometimes that can just be our fears, right? And so someone can either be showing red flags, and therefore our no is a good answer to that when we get given this choice. So we're clearly seeing the red flags. They actually exist in that person and not just in our imagination. Or our fears could be playing out. So we could have been, say, cheated on by someone else in the past, and then someone asks us out and we're like, oh, well, I've got dark hair, and so I think they're going to cheat and be cheating on me. Again, that's just a fear. They're not showing, that's not a red flag. That's you imagining a red flag. I feel like you went into protection mode here when you had a choice to make, and it might not have been the best thing to do. So you could have been projecting previous hurts onto someone in the past when you had a choice to make. You held your energy back from, well, let's find out what's behind that first. Why you protected yourself? What's behind this? At the time, you might have thought it was a good decision to make because you were imagining this red flag. Ascension, right? Right. The truth is, and I don't think I'm talking about your person now that is currently in your life. I think I'm talking about someone in the past here, someone that maybe, perhaps you should be regretting turning down. They had actually higher vibration. It would have been a step up. It was your fears that came up that caused you to turn this person down. Now, your ego would have said to yourself, you made the right decision. No, you dodged a bullet there, but it wasn't even true. They were good for you. It was a step up, but you didn't step up toward that. You caved into for the fears instead, and you said no to them. Now, this could be someone that you regret saying no to, that you wish you'd have stepped forward. You wish you had talked to them. You wish you had said yes to them. But something caused you to hesitate, and it was fears. Four of Pentacles and hold back. And so you stayed in the same traps as you were before. You decided to stay in the same energies that you were before, instead of stepping up and going into this relationship that would have been a step up for you. It was too scary for you, so you didn't go for it. Remained in the same patterns, and you decided, no, I'm just going to go for it. But this wasn't conscious. You'd have told yourself, I dodged a bullet there. It was a good job I didn't. They were probably a narcissist or something like that, and it wasn't true. They would have been good for you, but you caved in for the fears instead. Not a conscious process, but that's what happened. And so that meant, this is saying that there was a point in the past when you thought you were ready for a better relationship, but you actually weren't. You chose to go back to old energies, not necessarily go back to someone else. You might have done that, but you might have just decided, no, I'll stay in my comfort zone. I'll keep on going out with the same kind of people because they're my comfort zone. Now, this could be you. If, say, you've been through a very strong healing phase of your life, really got into spirituality as a result of it, and you like being around spiritual types, those people that are healing themselves too, because they feel safe to you. Now, you might have been presented with someone who's, say, more successful. That's why you could have judged them as a narcissist. Not necessarily a narcissist, just a successful person, but not into all that healing stuff, because they don't need to be. They've got themselves out of that. They've been through that already, or they never needed to heal themselves in the first place from all that stuff. They hadn't been through all of that stuff in the first place. So you're presented with this new kind of person, and you're like, I'm going to think that it's a red flag. I'm going to say that this success makes them all too material or a narcissist or something. I'm going to call it a red flag, turn away from them. They're not the spiritual type. I'm going to go back to my comfort zone. I'll just choose someone else who's a spiritual type kind of thing. Staying in that trap. It feels to me like you guys, you're ready, or you were ready. No, you weren't ready because you didn't do it. But it could be that right now you are ready to break free. And so you need to know this. Something needs to end now. This is about the past, but this pattern needs to end. I feel like you're still in this pattern. And I'm feeling for a lot of you, it's this stuck in the spiritual trap. So let me reiterate that. The people that are into spirituality, they are seeking a solution because they're hurting. That is a trauma response, right? I know, because I was into it myself. I'm less into it now. I'm doing other things in my life. I'm still doing this, yes, because I want to help you guys out. But I'm losing interest fast in this, and I'm certainly not choosing to be around spiritual types or anyone like that in my private life. I'm around very different kinds of people now, because once you're healed, you don't need to be around unhealed people that are seeking answers like that. I mean, it's great. I'm not putting them down or anything like that. It's a stage, but it's a stage, and once you're out of that stage, you don't want to be at it anymore. And it feels to me like you guys are leveling up, and you shouldn't be having you need to be moving away from having personal relationships, friendships, and romantic relationships, definitely with people like that, because it will get more and more frustrating, because you can't have good relationships with people that are wounded. You can't. And those signs of being into healing and all of that is a sign of being wounded still, because you move on from that. So, going back to this past point in time, you were presented with someone that was very different than your usual type. And it was actually a star part, but fear caused you to reject them and hold your energy back from them. You were scared of them, but you stayed in the same pattern. Now, because you chose to stay in that same pattern, go back to those patterns, similar people, stay in your comfort zone, go for similar people than you've been used to. What the universe would have done then is, in the preceding relationships after that, would have shown you that it's not really for you. You would have got frustrated in them faster, in their wounds and stuff like that. You might have even gone into a relationship and trying to heal them, getting frustrated with them that they're not healing fast enough. It's all signs that you are ready to come out of this healing phase, that you don't need to be around people like that, being in a relationship with people like that. It served you while you were healing. It's not serving you now. So tell us more about this point in time. This could have been a while ago for you. Tell us more about this point in time in the past for crystals. I'll run a mile now from people in that kind of an energy. In my personal life, Sacred union, honor and treasure your relationship, for it's truly sacred. Now, there's something about that sacredness. What is a sacred union to you? Is it that it needs to have a bit of woo-woo about it? Because that could be how you're locking yourself in to wound mate relationships, which again, they have their place when you're going through that. Don't let me tell you you're ready to come out of this if you're not. If you're still very much in the healing phase, if you're still very raw, be in relationship with these safe people that are like that, these people that are also seeking solutions in religion and spirituality and the healing arts and stuff like that, absolutely. But it could be that your definition of a sacred union is having a bit of woo about it, and it's not necessarily true. There might just need to be a mind shift here. And I know it's a mind shift that happened to me. Nobody told me about this stuff. I figured it out myself. And I just got more and more repulsed. That's putting it a little bit strongly, but I mean it is the opposite of attraction. Just more, I don't want to be in this kind of an energy. It's heavy, it's needy and all of that, and they're just not interested in the same things that I'm interested in now. So you might just need a mind shift going on from this, and it might become more apparent to you when I tell you about this person in the past that came toward you, which was actually what you're more looking for. And it could be what you're seeking now. You could be seeking someone that is a go-getter, someone that builds things, someone that, that's passionate for something in their life. And you were presented with someone like that before, but you red flagged them out. And it wasn't, I'm hearing clearly that it wasn't a red flag in them. It was just a perception in you because of an unhealed part of you, or a pattern that you were in. So you kind of time to walk alone and coming of age. You're maturing in yourself, and you've had catalysts here. There is change. There's change in this reading for you. Tell us more. Attend to the details. So pick it apart. Look at the details. Our attraction patterns are weird. They're weird. It's more about what's a match to our own energy and what is familiar to us and what's in our comfort zone than it is about this person is right for you. So the universe sprinkles some magic dust that makes you feel something for someone. It's not that. Our feelings and our attraction is not an indication that someone's right for us. It's an indication of what we deem ourselves and our energy with our perceptions and our the way that we look at things because of the things that we've been through, our fears and all of that. It's who we feel a connection with, who we feel is a match to us through all of that garbage that we are. The greatness that we are and the garbage that we are too, because we've got a mixture of it all, right? And so you need to know that attraction isn't, and that feeling of connectedness isn't saying it's a sacred union at all. It's just like you're feeling the attraction. You're feeling the attraction now because of familiarity is what it is. And that can really set you free when you know that. And I'm not saying that you're not going to be attracted to. I bet there was some attraction here. There would have been. Otherwise, it wouldn't have even happened in the first place. And maybe you could have pursued that. Maybe you need to pursue that kind of attraction now. We'll find out in the present and in the future part of it, of course. Tell us more about this past thing there. You needed to attend to the details a little bit more. You needed to find out about that person a little more instead of writing them off, instead of judging them. You needed to flirt with them a little bit more here. There was an attraction there, and that was real. And so if you can be attracted to someone like this, which feels like a healthier kind of relationship than the ones you've been in, or it would have been had you got into it. Codependency and control came out with that. So this was what you were fearing, right? You were fearing that they were being controlling. Perhaps they reminded you of someone that was controlling in your past. And you opted for codependency instead. No, I want to be with someone that can help. Instead, someone that's seeking those spiritual things. And it's not necessarily what's good for you. That is for you to be with a seeker, like I've just said. What else in this past? What else to do with this past thing? Falling in love. Wow. It's almost like a fear of falling in love with this person, as if your mind was saying, how can this person possibly be right for me? This can't be a divine connection because they don't have tie fisherman pants on and spiritual clothes or whatever. They don't go to church or they don't do this. And it's not about that. And you could have been falling for this person or afraid to fall for this person. They would have offered commitment too. Wild abandon. There was a hell of a lot of promise in this relationship, but you turned it down. And it was a mind thing that you turned down. It was for mind reasons. Let's just get a little bit of heart stuff out about this. What about the heart connection from this person in the past? It doesn't feel like it's a go now. It doesn't feel like you can go back to this person. I think that was your chance with this person, you know. But it seems to be like this kind of person is the kind of person you should be going for now, or maybe that's available to you now or right for you now. Quality time together. So this person, had you have gone into this relationship instead of saying no to it, you would have spent quality time together. So it would have been a lot more rewarding. Now you might see because of the energies that you've been in, helping yourself, healing yourself and all of that, you might be around friends and you talk about healing, you talk about all these kind of things. And you might have been doing that in romantic relationships too. And you might perceive that as being quality time together, someone that you can talk the woo stuff with. But this is showing me something different. There's a different kind of quality time together. This could have been actually getting out there in the world and enjoying things on a different level. It feels more superficial from that other perspective, but it's not. It's not superficial. It's enjoying what's available to us here on this planet. I don't know how else to put that, but I'm feeling it as an energy. It's a richer and deeper life experience in the present moment than delving into the gnarly stuff. Let's put it that way. It's more delving into the richness and the enjoyment of life on a deeper level. So that was kind of available to you, but it kind of wasn't. You weren't quite ready for it. It was a little bit of a dangle in front of you. See if you were kind of planting those seeds, but you weren't ready for that, and that's okay. So what have you got going on now? What have crystals got going on now? In the love lives. Ace of Swords. You've had a bright idea about something. Have you? Ace of Wands. Ten of Swords. To put down the pain, to start. Ace of Wands. So you are ready for something right now, aren't you? Wow, 2 aces. You're ready for something new. It's like, enough of this pain. I'm done with people like this and like that. You've had recurring kind of issues in relationships, the same types. And you're like, I'm done with that. I don't want that anymore. I want this instead. You've had an idea of what it is that you want now. Now, these ideas that you're having of who, the kind of person that you want now, is it a match? Or could it have been a match, if you're honest with yourself, to this person in the past? Because I think maybe it could have been. Chicken snoring. Can you hear her? It's really cute. Sleepyhead chicken. It sounded very quiet. Just having a dream too. Why the Ace of Swords? What is this bright idea that you've had? 2 of Voices. You're not sure whether to choose it or not, though. This could be that someone's shown up in front of you and you're like, seem to be out of your league, but there's something about them that excites you, but you're not sure whether to choose it or not. This is almost like you're overthinking it. You're thinking, is this actually good for me, or is this a sabotage? You're not sure about that. Oh, what's behind this? You've got a lot of change energy going on in this reading. Changing the type of person that you go for. It's like understanding yourself and why you go for the kinds that you go for. Because it doesn't seem to be working for you. There's an emotional release behind this as well. It could be a big relief to go for someone like this. It's going to be an easier relationship, a more mature relationship. Someone that's already leveled up, you know? More of a match to you. So some of you might be believing that you're further behind than you are, that you're still damaged in some kind of a way when you're not. You've done enough emotional healing now to be out of that. So putting the pain behind you, Ace of Wands, moving into something more exciting instead. Page of Emotions, very much feeling like a beginner in that. So you're like, oh, I'm not sure whether I can choose this. Is this really right for me? Should I really be with someone that's like this? So different than the people that I've been with before. I've been with people that I've met before and I've had to help them out, and we've been healing together and delving into that kind of stuff. But this person, I could actually be happy with them, but will I get bored in that? Is that the right choice to make? This is you all in your head at the moment about this stuff. And because you will be a beginner in that, because you've not experienced this kind of relationship before. New beginnings. It would be a complete new beginning for you. So you're feeling like a page. You're feeling like, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure if this is right for me. Well, why not give it a go? Isn't that what we should do in relationships? Until we fully know ourselves exactly what it is that we want, we get into relationships and we find out. That's what we do. Like teenagers, we start out like that. Get into a relationship, we don't know what the hell we want in life or anything then. And we go into relationships and we kind of use the relationships and work and all kinds of experiences that we have in our lives to find out who it is that we are. Well, we get to a certain point in maturity where we don't need to do that anymore. We don't need to find out who we are through our lovers and through our jobs and things like that. We can have that maturity of knowing ourselves and like what is for us and what isn't for us, and make those choices ourselves. It feels to me like you're getting into that mature place where you're knowing yourself fully and you can make a good decision. But there's this part of you that is still going back, maybe to the superstitious and maybe to the attraction thing and going, am I really making the right choice here? because I didn't make the right choice in the past, you know, still kind of questioning yourself and your intuition. Don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do, for it's only being true to yourself that you can be true to others. Change is happening in you at the moment, and especially if you've got like friends around you that think that they think they know your type, right? Or they think that, don't try and please them. You're breaking free of an old pattern here, of an old way that you chose people, of a type as well, and you just need to be true to yourself in this, and don't make decisions based on guilt. You also don't owe people. You're not the therapist in relationships. Don't do that. Don't get into relationships to be the therapist. This codependency. Don't do that. Assess the situation is what it says. So you need to be really spending some time contemplating all of this and what it means to you. You're in a big time of change now in relationships. Assess the situation. Make sense of it in your mind. Does it make sense in the big picture, you know? Is it time to level up? Have you healed yourself now? Are you ready for an actual healthy relationship instead of being with a wingmate, someone who is in that healing phase, and you're helping and nurturing each other through that? Yes. But are you ready to be out of that with someone that's healthy now? Have you got yourself to that point now? I tell you, it's going to be a completely different kind of relationship when you do. What you have believed to be a deep relationship feels to be based on trauma. And I'm not talking about the kind of trauma that has you trauma bonded with someone here. You might have experienced that too. I'm talking about a different thing. I'm talking about a wound mate thing. I'm talking about you've been choosing allies to heal with. And it's time to move on from that too. So assess the situation. Try and make sense of this. If you look back at your relationships, you could kind of define them as, well, this was right. This relationship was right for me at that stage because that was what I was learning about myself. And that relationship was right for me then because that's what I was learning about myself. And these recent ones have been right for me because this is what I was doing. I was healing myself. And now I'm ready for more. And so who is a match to me now? Assess a situation like that. Think it through. Based on your relationship path over the many years, because a relationship path is a relationship path. We learn more about ourselves and what we truly want in relationships and who we are. Regret and security. Okay. So there's part of you that has found security in the wound mate kind of relationships. Yet, you get into those and you get into unhealthy dynamics in them of codependency and helping them and stuff like that, and you regret it. So it's not as secure as you think. I'm not talking about getting into a relationship here with someone who isn't emotionally rich. That someone's damage doesn't make someone emotionally rich. Maybe emotionally nurturing and all of that. That someone can't be super compassionate to you because they are in that gnarly, I need healing energy. That doesn't mean that they're not going to be emotionally nurturing to you. Take someone who's very damaged and they're really hurting too, and they see you in your pain and they go, oh yeah, it's terrible, you're a victim. That can feel very emotionally nurturing when you're in that pain. Take someone else who is more straight speaking with you because you're not in that victimhood mode anymore and you don't need that kind of victimhood compassion anymore. Someone that can say, not the tough love thing, more of the tough love thing and more of the, maybe you need to change your mind about that kind of thing. Someone that can give you more level-headed feedback, and it's not that they're not emotionally. I'm just picking up that you're believing that these people are emotionally intelligent, but coming of age and maturity, I think you'll find that they are. Some of them are anyway, not all of them, of course. Healing, yes. If you healed yourself enough, you're choosing someone that's already healed and available for a proper relationship. or someone that hasn't required that amount of healing because we didn't go through that gnarly stuff in the first place. Would you be surprised that someone could be a match to you that hasn't been through that stuff in the first place? Would you be surprised? You probably wouldn't be surprised, in fact, that someone who has been through similar circumstances to you and that has healed themselves and got themselves out of that and created a life for themselves could be a match to you now. And that is the kind of person that isn't necessarily going to want to talk up front about all of that crap because they're not in it anymore. They're not interested in talking about that stuff anymore. As you get deeper into the relationship, they'll reveal it. They'll reveal what they've been through to you, but not up front. People that are very wounded will reveal those things up front. They want to talk about the traumas right away, about the crazy exes and what they've been through and all of that. And it's a red flag. It's a red flag to heal people. Shift. There's a lot of shift, and I think this reading is just kind of opening up your mind to that. So healing in a bad attitude. Healing in a bad attitude. How interesting. Because that's what I'm talking about. People that kind of could be turning their back on you because you reveal that healing stuff and because you think that that's deep and spiritual. And people just see, oh, traumatized person, get me away from this person. It'll just be nothing but trouble, wounded and you know, projecting and all of that kind of stuff that we do when we're wounded. It feels to me like you might have options around you at the moment and be considering it, but the universe could be whipping them away from you if you're trying to make the same choices as you made before. And because you need to shift that now. The universe doesn't want you to get into the same kind of relationships. It's time for you to level up. Spiritual connection. Here you go, spiritual connection. It might be different than you expect. It might look different than you expect and feel different than you expect. Wow. Well, if that sounds like it is your story or could be your story, you might want to get the future part of this and let's see what's coming for you in the future. It could be, well, we'll find out. Let me not try and guess what it is, but there could be some very interesting things coming up for you to take you to that next stage. Let's find out what they are, shall we? So if you're interested in that, I'll pop a link. I'm just going to do the same thing again, but for the future. I'll pop a link for it up there. There's also a link in the description box and in the comments below. It's 20 Australian dollars, which is about 15 American dollars right now. It's an instant watch kind of a thing, so you need to get your email address right, otherwise you're not going to receive it. Type that in very carefully. Now, the email might end up in your inbox, but it might end up in your spam, your junk, or your promotions folder if you're on Gmail. Check in those places. In that email, you will see a link to the crystal, which I almost dropped on the floor and smashed. Crystal, the flower and the shell. Click on that crystal on a device where you can open PDFs. In that PDF, you will see a link to you'll see a picture of a video, which is a link to a video. If it doesn't take you to a video right away when you click on that, then just open it on another device and it will. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click like on this video down there. Leave a comment as well, even if it's just to say hello. You don't need to leave all your personal details about this in this public platform. Totally cool, but help a girl out by doing all of that stuff down there for me. Click on that subscribe button along with that notification bell to hear more from me. I do 3 of these Love Pick a Card reads a week. Got any ideas of what you want me to do them on? Let me know. Any suggestions? Put them in the comments below. I also do a daily energy update for the collective, and I go live 3 times a week in my Psychic Cafe show where I give mini reads for donations. You can find the next show laying in wait on my YouTube channel down there. So if this is where you're leaving me, good luck with all of this. If you're coming with me to the deeper dive, then I'll see you in there very shortly. If you chose the flower, then this one's for you, flowers. Let's find out about your love life. The past, the present, and the future. Now, past and present, you're going to be saying, but I already know what's going on. Why are you telling me that? I'm telling you the deep stuff that's behind it, the lessons behind it, all the energy that's behind it, the stuff maybe that you're not aware of. The past part, now, it can be about a person when you met your person at the moment, or some significant point in the past, but it could be even further back than that. Something that you went through in the past that has something to do with what's going on in your love life now. I think it's more likely to be that this time around, but we'll see. Now, flowers, in the future part of it is going to be in a deeper dive reading, an extended reading. And so if you find that the past and the present part of it is your story, could be your story, you might want to get that future part of it. In the future part of it, I'll just do the same thing again, but I'll also go into possible timelines of that as well. If you're interested in that, toward the end of this reading, I'll be popping a link for it up there. There's also a link in the description box and in the comments below. So let's get some general cards out first about your love life and what's going on at the moment, because love life is a path, right? It's a path of learning to and growing, learning about ourselves, growing, us being in relationship with other people, learning about them, how to do that, all of that stuff. Acceptance is where you're at the moment. Ooh, not necessarily good energy there. Acceptance. Maybe having to accept people as they are instead of the rose-tinted spectacles that you could have been wearing in the past. Flowers, were you? Too many. Okay, play. It's all about being more playful. Less serious in relationships, more playful in relationships. And there's chicken cat's ear there. What else about flowers' love life? Flow. Let your worries drift away. No worries, flow with it. And so you could be getting to know people. You know, you date someone or you meet someone in a social interaction or something like that, and you get to know them a little bit, but you only get to know the best side of them, you know, at first. And then the more you spend time spent with them, the more you get to know them. And at a certain point, in all likelihood, for the majority of people, you'll find out that they're not for you. And so that's going to happen more times than not, right? And so flow with that and then accept it when it happens instead of making the other person wrong is what I'm getting there. Well, let's find out about your past. So some point in Flower's past in their love life that is important or has something to do with what they're going through right now. Can you tell us about some point in the past for Flower's love life that has something important to do with what's going on in the love life right now, or what's about to go on in the love life? There we go. Strength. You needed to be the strong one in the relationship. You needed to be the one that was the masculine energy in a relationship. Maybe you got yourself into a relationship in the past with someone that had quite feminine energy or needed to be taken care of a lot. You need to be the one that was a strong one. They weren't strong for you. You had to be strong for them. You had to step up. Queen of Swords. There's a protective element around this because the Queen of Swords is the one that sets boundaries. It could be that this could be someone that you had children with. If this is a relationship with someone that you're married, not only were you in the masculine energy in that, making the decisions, having to be the strong one, you will have also been the one that had to discipline the children as well. Bad cop kind of thing, because they wouldn't. You were with this energy is you were with someone who is very wimpy, very unmasculine, very they wouldn't take a stand. They wouldn't be strong. They wouldn't take a stand. They always want to be the one that would lie. Probably a people pleaser kind of thing. Could have been quite manipulative with it as well. So when you had to be the strong one and step up, they could have then turned against you and like said to the kids, "Oh, you're all right. You can be with me." And it's like, "Hey, hang on a minute. I'm the only one that's disciplining them here." You know, they could have been quite underhanded about it there. Just take that if it resonates, that particular example as well. So, for example, you know that you need to tell your in-laws. You've both decided that you're not going to spend Christmas with the in-laws, that you're going to spend them with your family or something like that. And so you say to them, are you going to tell your parents? And they say, no, can you? And you're like, okay then. And so you go and you're there, you know, your kids are playing, whatever. And you say, oh, by the way, this year we won't be spending Christmas with you. We'll be at my parents instead. Hope that's okay. And then your partner does something like that. Well, I wanted to come here, but she said, and they throw you under the bus. They undermine you in that way. It's a dig. It's a underhandedness and manipulativeness. That's what I'm getting from this. So you're in a relationship where not only did you have to step into the masculine role, but they also undermined you in that I don't like them. I hope you finish with them. Strength. How's that my ex-husband? Lovers. The Empress. Yeah. So you were in this energy with this person. You were the lover. You were doing really well in this relationship, but you were doing it all. You were doing it all. It's like you were taking the slack for them, and they were undermining you at the same time. You're the Empress. You had to take charge of it. You're the strong one. And you managed to make it instead of blowing up at them and giving them hell, you managed to make it a really loving relationship as well. So you let them get away with that shit. Why? Maybe you've learned. Have you learned? I hope so. What's behind that? Divine timing. You needed to go through that. So there was an element of you taking the flak, taking the hit for everyone else, being the bigger person in everything. You have been doing it at work, you'll have been doing it with your family, and you will have always been taking the responsibility for everything and everyone, doing the right thing, managing to make everything work and keep relationships going and keep everyone happy. When everyone else is like throwing grenades around, smashing everything up, and you're somehow, some way holding it all together for everyone. Good on you, but hey, you don't need to do that. And then, wow, imagine all of those skills that you've got. Imagine being in a good relationship with someone that isn't doing all of that, someone that's as capable as you. I feel like that this past part is talking about a long time ago. I hope it's a long time ago for you anyway. Queen of Swords. So not only did you have to create the boundaries, be the bad cop and all of that, do the discipline, all of that, you were getting undermined for it. But you didn't cut it out with them. You weren't doing the boundaries to them. Well, you did in the end, I'm sure. No one can put up with this kind of relationship forever. I did 7 years. How about you? In a relationship like this. Page of Inspiration. You had a bright idea. It got you out of there. So the only thing that got you out of this, it wasn't a realization of what you were doing, that you didn't need to offer so much energy as you were holding it all together. It was an idea that you had. Maybe you wanted to move somewhere or start a business or get a job somewhere else or do something else. And that would have been what broke up the relationship. So you were given an out. You were given an out there. And that's when you will have realized this person isn't supporting me. I want to do this thing. I've been doing all of this for them, and they won't even do the first thing for me, not even support me. And I wanted to do something new. I was going to do it. They didn't even have to do it, but they wouldn't even support me in that and say, yeah, do it. They'll probably be standing in your way saying, no, you can't do that. Damn it. Perception and retreat. And so that's when you noticed that there was something wrong in this relationship. Oh my God, there was so much wrong in this relationship. But that's when you noticed it, and that's when you retreated and thought, this isn't for me. Wow, you put up with so much before that. You didn't notice. That makes me believe that you were in those patterns for a long time with other people too, and you're just used to it, just taking the weight of everyone, used to doing everything. Used to holding it all together and keeping relationships good, keeping everyone sweet, and taking the hit of it while they stab you in the back. Whew. Tell us more about this past relationship. Acceptance, there it is again. I told you that acceptance card wasn't good. The things you accepted. Wow. The things you put up with. Acceptance is the key to inner peace. Oh, you were too good at that. Being in a shitty situation and keeping your inner peace. Not only that, you kept everyone's peace as well. You made everyone happy too. Wow. Times we must accept things as they are. There's no point in trying to change that which is beyond our control. You were around people that are no way deserving of you. No way, not even close deserving of you. I hope you realize that now. This that you went through in the past has something to do with what you're going through now. Just reminding you of that. Wow. What else? Step into your power. Yes, use that power for yourself and for a good relationship. Empress. Showing us up as the Empress. So capable. So capable that you managed to do that. Wow. Imagine being with an Emperor that can do that too. Not that he's going to choose to do that, but wow. It would be incredible. Someone that will hold their own, someone that doesn't even need you to do that stuff because they're doing the right thing. Anyway, like you do the right thing. So much easier. Wow, imagine how easy breezy a relationship would be with someone who's capable of all of that too, but you won't need to do it because you won't require it of each other, because they won't be stabbing you in the back and you won't be stabbing them in the back, because you'll be both advocating for your own stuff, you know, doing things yourselves. Tell us more about this past one anyway. Step into your power. You needed to step into your power. It feels like you did in the end. Forgiveness and hope. Oh, did you forgive them? were you even nice to them once you broke up, and forgive them and hope that they have a nice life? Well, I hope they don't. I hope that they get into a relationship with someone that tells them, hell no, sort that shit out yourself. Because then they'll learn, right? And don't you want your ex-person to learn and grow? You were pretty naive, says this, when you withdrew from this person. So you weren't even seeing the writing that was on the wall. It was about that final thing. It was about this rather than about the other stuff. You weren't aware of the other stuff, of all of the imbalances that were in there, all of the backstabbing that was going on. You were pretty naive when you walked away from this, but you knew you needed to get away from it. What about your heart back then? What was your heart at back then? I don't think you were expecting much at all. It doesn't appear that you were receiving love. The only thing that is real is love. This is where your heart was at. You had so much love in your heart. You managed to keep it going and keep your heart open. Wow. In that adversity. That's huge. You're capable of incredible things. Oh, but don't choose to be in a relationship like that again. Okay, so what's going on for flowers right now? What's going on in your love life right now? Flowers? What's going on for flowers right now in the love life right now? Knight of Cups. You've got someone dashing here. They are wanting to give you a love offer. So there's someone in front of you. You're interested. Oh, this is exciting. They're interested in you, Knight of Cups. They've got flowers for you. They might be asking you out on a date. They might be romancing you somehow. The Emperor. Now that's what we like to see. Now we've got the Empress and the Emperor on the table. Divine couple. Now, so the Emperor's showing up in your life. Woo! Someone that can too. Maybe they've been in a situation like this. I'm getting goosebumps with that. Your Emperor has been in a situation like this before as well. Wow. Yeah, they've been holding it all together with shitty people too. This person is capable. They've been through similar things to you. Knight of Cups, tell us why the Knight of Cups. So they're coming forward in the love offer. They will be feeling a connection with you for sure. Knight of Cups, Page of Materials. They're dreaming about you, like probably you about them too. You've imagined this, being built together. Things are moving now. So someone is coming toward you. You might have been like, they seem like me from a distance for a while and kind of interested in each other. And there's a definite coming forward energy now because you've dreamed of each other or had visions of each other, and things are getting moving now. Looks on your side now. You two are probably really wary of people if you've both been through something like this in the past. And like I said, this could be long ago. You could have possibly married them like I did. And you'll be really wary of people, both of you. You'll be super, super wary of getting into relationships because of all of this. But things are moving now. So it might have been some time kind of watching each other and feeling comfortable and going, no, they do have it together. I've seen them in a few situations now. They don't seem to be a nut job like my ex was. Selfish, nut job. It's going to stab me in the back. Creativity. Oh, it could have something to do with your work here. There could be someone in your work situation or someone you're being creative with in some kind of way. You might be watching them be creative in their work situation and kind of taking your time watching them in different situations, how they handle it, taking responsibility, stuff like that, not passing the buck. You know, you're very much probably making sure that they're not a person like that. Tell us why the Emperor is on the table. The Hermit. Withdrawn, keeping things to themselves. A lot of inner work going on here. Your person, your Emperor, might be, this could have been distant past for you. It feels more recent to them, this kind of an energy that they've been in. Still healing themselves. So quite withdrawn. It's like a tentative move towards you. Love offer. There's a bit of romance there. There's movement happening. It could be extremely slow. Page of Materials. Yeah, it could be extremely slow. They're wary. They're still healing themselves from a situation that they've been in. The Hermit card there. Still a little bit withdrawn from you. Not fully ready to go full in on it yet. How come? Tell us what's behind that. Transformation. They're still in a transformation stage. So there's very much change. There's change going on in the life at the moment. So interested in you. Romantic connection towards you. Feeling like you're that person. Very good match. Emperor to the Empress. Yes. It feels like a very good match to me too. But they're still healing from stuff like this. And that's in the recent past or ongoing for them. And having to transform themselves, heal themselves to get out of this. So the feeling that you're on the same page here, that you're the safe one, that you haven't got all that toxic shit going on, and they don't have that toxic shit going on too. But they too have been able to hold it together for everyone, and they have been. Two extremely capable people that won't have to do all of that stuff together, because you don't need each other to do all of that stuff. Criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform. Right, I feel like your person's got someone very critical around them at the moment, and they're very much not wanting that anymore. You could, I don't know, maybe if they've been getting to know you, they could be very sensitive to criticism. If you're working together and you've given a little bit of constructive criticism, they might have taken that very hard. They might be looking for you. At the moment, while they're raw about all of this stuff, they might be looking for you to be more of their cheerleader, but you don't need to take that role on. I mean, your person here will want a well-rounded relationship in the end. You don't need to get into dysfunctional patterns of only being their cheerleader and being very sensitive around their triggers just because they're still going through this. In other words, give it time. Give this time. Don't jump on in there and set unhealthy patterns just because they're not healed yet. That's just a little bit of a warning there. As it feels like they're transforming. It feels like this isn't going to be moving fast at all. But don't try and manage them. They need to get themselves to a place of wholeness, right? So that they can have a relationship where you can criticize and you can cheerlead for them, and a healthy relationship will be a bit of both. Someone that challenges you, you know, you want someone that challenges you. You want to be able to challenge them too. You don't just like sun shines out of the backside kind of thing. Never question that. A narcissist will want you to do that kind of thing. I'm not picking up narcissists from this person in the slightest. Not in the slightest. You could have been with a narcissist in the past. They could have been with a narcissist as well. You guys aren't. So you don't need to treat someone like that, you know. Just let them get over it first. Give them time and space to get over it. Okay, what else? And you know where they're at. And that's possibly why this past stuff is coming through, is like, this is where your person's at. Remember what you were like then. Remember, you know, you could have uncovered all of that stuff eventually, because this is saying that you got out of that relationship and it was just about one little thing. But you might have realized years on, or you might have only just been realizing in this reading that, yes, they were stabbing me in the back all the time. Holy hell, why did I put up with all of that? How did I not even notice that, you know? Well, you won't have noticed that because of patterns, and I think your person the same. Trying to find a balance at the moment in themselves, in themselves first. So they could be flopping from anger to poor me, and they need to heal themselves. Hey, not ready. Your person's not ready for a relationship. They are attracted to you. They see a future with you. They are the Emperor. but they're not yet healed and ready for a relationship. But you're a certain match. I'm telling you, you are a match with this person. Maybe not in this moment right now, because you could be more ready for this than they are. But hey, Divine Masculine is behind at the moment. It's all right. Balance, more balance, more balance. Needing to find a balance. Your person needs to get into balance first. So you got a bit of a delay here, but it's okay. Okay. Caution, caution. Don't rush this. Don't rush this person. Don't try and get into a relationship with them right now. Do not push it. I'm telling you, you will regret it. You'll have to walk on eggshells around them, not because they're narcissists, but because they're unhealed still. Give them time to heal from this. Risk. Let them take the risk to walk towards you when they're ready. Let them make the next move. Let them take that first move. Let them be the emperor and step forward. They will do it when they're truly ready. Don't try and push it. Don't try and coerce it. And then be responsive when they do. Yeah. So if your ego is telling you to be on the battlefield here, or to try and get this moving, or there's something that you need to do, you don't. And if your ego then tells you, well, I'll need to give up then on them, you give up on them, and then they come in towards you, and then you battlefield with them, oh, you want me now, do you? No, don't do that kind of stuff. Just in case. I'm not thinking that you would do that, but just in case. Our egos are tricky like that, Where's the heart at? Where's your heart's at? Ooh, 3. Do something for someone. This is someone that's got plenty to give. They'll do things for you, you'll do things for them. Focused on love as well. Very much focused on love, both of you. Beautiful. And back to what you love. Reevaluating desires here. Kind of a reset energy for both of you. It's time to get, right now, it's time to get really focused on what it is that you both want, really. They need to heal themselves, yeah, but you need to get focused on what you want and get picturing a healthy relationship now. With all of this information that I'm giving you in these readings, you should be able to build up a picture of a really healthy relationship now, and it might be different than you expected before. If that sounds like it is your story, or could be your story, you might want to get the deeper dive, the extended reading, I'm just going to do the same thing again, but for the future. What's coming for you? Let's get some timelines on that as well. See what's next in this connection. I'm sure you're going to be moving forward with this person. Let's find out how and when. Shall we? In that deeper dive. I'll pop a link for it up there. There's a link in the description box and in the comments below as well. It's 20 Australian dollars, which is about 15 American dollars right now. It's an instant watch kind of a thing. You do need to get your email address right, otherwise you're not going to receive it. So type that in very carefully. The email may end up in your inbox, but it might end up in your spam, your junk, your promotions folder if you're on Gmail. Check those places. In the email, you will see a link to the crystal, to the flower, and to the shell. Click on that flower on a device where you can open PDFs. Isn't it beautiful? I'm feeling in a very rich red mood today. I don't know why. Device where you can open PDFs. In that PDF, you will see a picture of a video. When you click on the picture of a video, if it doesn't take you to the video right away, try it on a different device and it will. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click like on this video down there. Leave a comment as well, even if it's just to say hello. If you don't want to leave any personal information about this stuff that's going on, or let it rip about your ex-husband or your ex-wife or whoever that was, because I don't like them and I'm glad that you left them. And I don't like my ex-husband either. I'm so glad I left as well too. So let's get all of that stuff out of us now. Hey, click on that subscribe button along with that notification bell down there to hear more from me as well. I do 3 of these Love Pick a Card reads a week. If you've got any suggestions of what you want me to do them on, let me know in the comments below. Love hearing from you, and I will do that too. And what else? I do a daily energy update for the collective as well. Check that out on my YouTube channel, and I go live 3 times a week in my Psychic Cafe show where I give mini reads for donations. Come along to that sometime. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 a.m. Bangkok time. Find the next show laying in wait on my YouTube channel by clicking on the Be Healing thing down there. So thanks again for watching. Good luck with all of this if this is where you're leaving me. And if you're coming with me to the deeper dive, I'll see you in there very shortly. If you chose the shell, then this one's for you. Shells, let's find out what's been going on in your love life, what's going on in your love life now, and what's going to be happening in your love life some point point in the future. Now, of course, you already know what's going on now. I'm not going to go into that mundane level of life detail of it. This is going to be about the stuff, the gnarly stuff behind it, the energy behind it, why this has all been going on. In the past part, I'm not just talking about like the recent past with your person or whatever. This could be from way back. It's got something that's pertinent to what you're going through right now in your love life, something that is connected to it in some kind of a way. Could have been from very long ago. Just be aware of that. Now, the future part of it is going to be in a deeper dive and an extended reading. So if you find that the past and the present part of it is your story or could be a story, you might want to get that. So I'll just do the same thing in that future part of it, but I'll be going into timelines too, possible timelines for that. So if you're interested in that, toward the end of this reading, I'll be popping a link for it up there. There's also a link for that deeper dive in the description box and in the comments below. So let's get some cards out, general cards out first, about your love life and what this is all about. Calling forth the waves. You want a richer experience in your relationships. Let's get it the right way around. You want a richer experience in your relationships. Calling forth the waves. You want something to happen now. You could have been single for a while, for a long time maybe, or you could have just been stagnation in a relationship or in a back and forth kind of a relationship, something really not getting going now. You could have been waiting for someone. You want something to happen now, calling forth the waves, whether it's like blowing it up or coming on in there, whatever it is, I don't care. I just want movement now. Either set me free or come into this relationship. Let's get it moving now. Balance. Some balance to be had here as well. So this could be suggesting you could be making too much effort in relationships here. You could be the one that's pushing this, communicating with them, and you might not be balanced in the way of letting them make the next move kind of thing. Could have been putting too much in. Let's see. What else? Optimism, wild, and generosity. Yeah, putting too much into it. Way too optimistic about this, putting too much into it, and a little bit wild energy there. Cool. Yeah, might have been a little bit too generous with this person already. Okay, tell us more about the past. So some significant point in the past that has something to do with your present at the moment, Shells. Let's go into that. Tell us, guides, about Shell's past, about a certain situation in the past that has something to do with the energies around their love life at the moment. Queen of Pentacles, about your finances and about your stability and about your security, your stability, and your finances. Okay. What else? When something ended, Nine of Wands, getting very hurt by that. And again, this could be about your finances. This could be about when a relationship ended, about you losing out and you still kind of hurting from that, reeling from that. Maybe you didn't fight for getting a fair, what do you call it? When you get money, when money's divided up at the end of a relationship, maybe it wasn't done in a completely fair way. There's a bitterness or a resentment or a wounding behind that, behind what went on when you broke up, and I feel it's to do with this, the Queen of Pentacles. So this is about a breakup that is still affecting you now because of what went on, what wasn't handled fairly in your eyes, and it could do with money. Could be to do with money. Queen of Pentacles. Wrong deck. Tell us why the Queen of Pentacles is here. Why have we got the Queen of Pentacles here? For the past. Yeah, we're definitely talking about a breakup with that death and rebirth. Doesn't feel like your current relationship. Even if it's an on and off one, it doesn't feel like that. This feels like another significant relationship that you've had in your life in the past. A breakup that's still affecting you, although you might not be aware of it. Why have we got the Queen of Pentacles here? You were stable in your money. And what? And what? A cycle ended and a new cycle began. Okay. Now there's different scenarios here. Either when you got into this relationship you were stable with money and they weren't, or you weren't stable in money but then within this relationship you got stable in your money, or Something like that. A cycle completed and a new one began. Now, abundance, it's tricky, right? Can't speak. In a couple, we, as a single person, individual person, which we all are, we have our own connection with abundance and with source, right? For everything. We're manifesting our own lives, including abundance, the amount of money that we bring in, the way we handle that, the way that we grow it, all of that, the stuff that we're creating, it's on an individual level. Now, you get into a relationship and it might appear that you have really similar energies where it's regards to creating things in abundance, but you might be very different. For example, you might get into a relationship with someone who's got like a similarly paid job to you, but they could have a lot of debt and you could be stable. And, you know, it's just the way that someone, what they do with the money. And so you could have got into a relationship with someone that appeared to be on the same level as you, but actually wasn't. So either you were it feels like you were in your stability and your money, or you got yourself there and they weren't. They could have been in a lot of debt or something. It appears that when you broke up, they might have claimed that it was only because you were with them that you got that stability. So if you'd like built a business or something when you were with them, you might have lost half the business to them, even though it really had nothing to do with them. Your financial stability, I feel, was there. It might have changed within the relationship, but it was because of your individual work that you were doing. This is why it could feel that there's been an imbalance there and that you were done wrong as this relationship ended. They weren't entitled to your money. Energetically, you will feel that, but they probably got it anyway because they do, right? Anyway, a cycle ended and a new one began, but it appears that the energetics behind it weren't what was on the surface of it. So in other words, other people looking from outside could say Charles wasn't doing very well until they got together with that person, and then they were doing really well. Wow, isn't that a great relationship for them? It might appear like that on the surface of it, but what I'm seeing here is something very different in these energies, is that you've got yourself there, yourself, and it's just a coincidence that you were in a relationship with them. You grew within this relationship, and you grew something, and you grew your finances, and you grew your stability there. It was you that instigated that and grew that. Now, then there was the ending of the relationship, and it was disproportionate. The splitting of the finances was disproportionate. Maybe your person never grew. They were just enjoying your success, your financial success, and that financial stability. There was no justice there. This is still annoying you. It could be a long time ago in the past, but this energy is still there, and it will have you maybe slightly competitive, maybe reluctant to share your life with someone, especially finances and stuff like that, in a relationship, but will have you just keeping your distance a little bit here. Tell us what's behind this. So there was no justice done there. Maybe you didn't even fight for it, or maybe you just believed other people. Now, the masculine energy. So a masculine energy, it could have been, just decreed that kind of thing. It just goes 50-50 or 60-40 or whatever it was, and it wasn't right. It wasn't right. We know that. We know that in relationships, whose is whose money, really. We know who has grown that money and who's really earned that money, and who is growing that money and who is frittering that money away. But an outside judge goes, no, it's 50-50. And it's like, no, it isn't. It isn't. You have no idea what that person was doing with our money. Okay. This past relationship could have been a long time ago. It is affecting your situation right now. Let's find out more about it though. Okay. So there was an imbalance, huh? You were overly generous. Now look at these cards again. Calling forth the ways. You want a richer experience now, but it's got to be balanced. It has got to be balanced. Says you. You're like, no, I'm not doing that again. They've got to be on my level. I am not going through that again. I will be generous. I'll be optimistic. I want to have this rich emotional experience. I want to have this incredible relationship. But you think I'm letting someone in that will do this kind of stuff again? You've got to be kidding me. So, very defensive. There's probably a lot of people with energy like this, just because the courts don't really look into energetics, do they, of relationships, and not even energetics. We could look back and like who spent what on what, and who was growing the money, and who was, who was in debt, and all of that kind of thing. The actual functioning of them, the karma trajectory, the true justice is the karma stuff. Now, karma will work itself out in the end. You're probably having an abundant time now. But the trouble is, when it comes to relationships, you've still got this energy about it. If you could do anything, what would it be? Your answer dwells in your heart, not in your mind. For the heart is the gateway to the soul. Something about this relationship that kind of, or while you were in this relationship, you started pursuing your dreams. You started doing what you really wanted to do. Or this relationship showed you that you didn't want what you didn't want to do, and it propelled you to make a change. So it could be that it ended the cycle kind of thing. A stability, doing the same thing, and you knew when you got out of this relationship that you needed to do your own thing now. You needed to follow your heart. It feels more like that. Because I'm seeing her lay down there and kind of dreaming. You might have been in this kind of state within this relationship of not being fully happy in there and kind of dreaming of better times. I don't want to be locked in this relationship anymore. I don't want to be doing this thing in this job with this person. I want to be following my dreams now. I want to set myself free. So it feels like from this relationship you grew and you've bloomed from there and you moved beyond it. But there was that icky money division stuff went on. Could have something to do with a business being closed down as well, because if you've opened a business when you've been in a relationship, they could believe that they deserve half of that, and that could cause you to have to sell that business and give up on it, to give them half, and that isn't fair. That isn't fair. Release your blocks anyway. You got blocks here as a result of this relationship. Yes, I can imagine. I can imagine that. Wow. Okay, tell us more about this past relationship, or about what shells were learning in that relationship, or from that relationship, or the stuff that was coming up in it. Okay, this person was more like a friend. Interesting. Had more of a friendship energy towards you than a red hot lover, passionate, kind of on the same page soulmate. You weren't your soulmate. Buddies. Or you might have thought that was enough to base a relationship on. Very much feels like a karmic kind of a lesson relationship to me. What else? Romance. There was some romance there, but it could have been not so much passion, but, twee romance. Well, they bought me flowers every week. They were romantic. It's kind of something missing, They did the romantic things. They took you out to dinner on date nights, bought you flowers, that kind of thing. But it's not the same, is it, as someone that knows what really delights you and does something incredible for you? Did they do that kind of thing? Were they romantic in that way? There's different levels of romance, and it feels to me like this person could have been more of a friend, but they knew what to do. I mean, like they knew, oh, I've got to buy flowers, and I've got to do this, and I've got to do that to be romantic. Naughtiness. Independence, yeah. This person could have made you feel wrong for being naughty and stuff like that. You could have been quite cheeky and naughty within this relationship, and they could have made you wrong for that, as if that was a bad thing about you. As if that's a bad thing about you. Independence. So yeah, there was definitely a need to get rid of this one. Knew it wasn't right for you. But yeah, your finances took an impact as a result of it. Hey. What else? You are limitless, and you knew that. You are limitless, and you knew that. So you were going from strength to strength in your finances and business and stuff like that. You had these big dreams. They were just coming along for the ride. And then when, for some reason, for whatever reason, the relationship broke up, maybe because you had a new love here or they had a new love, yeah, they took half. It feels like they took half of what you'd grown, and so you kind of feel like you're not back to step one again, but it's like, hang on a minute, I built that wasn't you, that's not your business, that was my business. Anyway, so it's something like that. New love came along, and embracing opportunities for love in your work prospects or spiritual growth. So yeah, you could have moved on because you wanted to develop the business or do something new, you know, that energy, dreaming of something new, and they're just like, don't do that, carry on doing what you're doing, or whatever it was, and you broke up as a result of it. Now, it's good for you, you've stepped onwards and upwards kind of thing, but there is still that, but they took some of it, they hindered me, it's like they hobbled you a little bit, you know, stuck the knife in a little bit as you were leaving to kind of punish you, because you're the naughty one, by the way. You were the naughty one, you did the wrong thing apparently in this relationship, and so they could have felt vindicated in punishing you in some way and taking your stuff. Yikes. Okay, so what have we got going on now, Charles? What's going on in your love life right now? Now you're waiting for someone. Are you waiting to meet someone real special? You're going to be quite specific about the person that you want. They're going to have to show you very clearly that they're doing something for themselves, that they're limitless, that they're also an entrepreneur or whatever it is, you know, that they've got this thing. They need to be that too, because you are wary of bringing someone into your life like that again. Seven of Swords, yeah, deception. I don't want any of that stuff. Don't you deceive me. Don't you pretend to be successful if you're not and have these things. I want to see your bank statements and everything, because you could have the fancy cars and all of that, to be pretending to be successful, and you could be in complete debt. You could be, you know, you're going to be very, very particular about this now, about who you bring in. Three of Wands, so you're waiting for someone. A truthful start with someone. You're manifesting that. Someone that can be straight up with you, down to earth with you, tell you who they are, someone that is getting on with their life, you know, got a passion for things, onwards and upwards in their life. You're waiting for someone like that. There might not be too many of them around now. There might not be too many of them around because you've got some resistant energy here. It's like you're wary because of this experience in the past, and so this could be why this is coming up in this reading now. You're waiting for someone that is right, but you might need to just deal with this resentment first, because that resentment could have you with a brick wall in front of the people that are actually right for you. In other words, these ones that are ideal for you with this energy could be around you already, but with your resentment from the past, it could have you going like, well, I don't believe you. You know, do you know what I mean? And so you could be like pushing that away. Letting go. So there's something to let go of before you can actually open up. So you're manifesting it. You are manifesting. It's obviously coming up in this reading. You are manifesting someone like that, someone that is at your level, especially with that, the growth and the money and the all of that success and stuff like that. But you've got a block to it too. So this is about you. This whole reading is about you releasing those blocks so you can actually bring someone in that is a match to you here. Seven of Swords, that deception there. So you might actually, with this resentment energy, keep on being fooled by people that don't actually have anything. People pretending that they're successful, that they've done all of these things, and you find out it was just a lie. It's just a lie. I've had people do that to me before. Tell me that they've done all of these things, and they're successful, and they've done all these things, and then a few weeks or months down the line, I'm like, you haven't, have you? You've not done those things. Well, I might have just like expanded on the truth a little bit. Yeah, you lied. Seven of Swords. You keep on choosing the liars. Uh-oh. Okay, let's unravel this energy. You keep on choosing the liars. You're waiting for someone good to come in, but you keep on choosing the liars. You keep on finding the liars, right? Because you're looking out for it. Because you're looking out for it is because of this situation, this person in the past. So your wounding is here. They appeared on the surface to have this thing, but they didn't. I believed them. And I suffer the consequences for that. Never again, right? So that is a wound that you've got there. And that wounding, instead of going, I want someone that's a go-getter and that's all of this and successful, instead of being like positive like that and finding someone like that, you're like, I want someone that's really successful, not a liar, not someone that's going to rip me off, not someone that's going to take my money. So you're going with that energy instead. And each time you're choosing the ones that are lying and being deceptive to you, right? It's very different energy. So you need to get yourself to the point of just positivity of, I want someone that's just like me, successful and a go-getter, and someone that's doing that, someone that says to grow, someone that wants to grow something, yeah? And if you're, I'm not saying like just convince yourself to get to that energy. I'm saying clear this stuff up first. You need to heal this stuff first. What's behind this? Keep on choosing the liars. Oh no, I've been there. Ancient wisdom. What your mama told you, your grandma told you. What did your grandma tell you? Let me know in the comments. I don't know. What your mama told you. I don't know. What did your mama tell you? Did some of you have your mum set you up for that kind of thing? Did they tell you go for someone who is successful or has money or something like that? Or did they tell you the opposite? The ones that have got the success and the money, they won't love you, right? Go for someone that doesn't have much. There might be something in that to look into as well. I mean, you might have met this person from the past in the first place because of what your mama told you. And so you might have been susceptible to someone. You might have been looking for someone that appeared to have stuff on the surface of it. You know, like families want us to be with someone that's good on paper kind of thing. They might have been good on paper, but what was really behind that wasn't really true. Okay, so that's something to look into there. So I'm not saying just like convince yourself and affirm to yourself, I just want someone that's successful. Don't try and lure yourself into a false sense of positivity there. That doesn't work. You have to actually get yourself there by dealing with the past stuff and letting it go properly, forgiving that person or realizing how you got into it in the first place. That's probably why what your mama told you comes into it. Well, I don't know about you, but my mama told me not to go with the good looking ones because they will cheat on you. That's what she said to me. They won't be nice to you. They won't treat you right. Go for the ugly ones. They'll treat you right. That's what she told me. And that had me wary. It did. I believed her. It had me wary of the ones that I was attracted to, the ones that I deemed to be good looking. So I'm like, what? I'll have to have relationships with the ones I'm not even attracted to, the ones that I find are ugly. I can't even do that. And so she set me up for failure there to say, like, oh, if you're attracted to them, you're going to treat you bad. You know, we get set up with these beliefs, and when you think about it, you need to think about this now because it was your beliefs that got you into this, and it's your beliefs that have you still choosing the liars too, based on your experiences from that past relationship. In other words, you might be projecting this energy of, I want someone that appears to be successful, that is successful, but I don't really believe them. And so you're attracting the people that appear to be successful, but there's nothing behind it. It's a lie behind that. So be careful of the energetics. It's always going to play out. Only time will tell. Is this person that or not? The person that you've got coming into your life at the moment is the person you've got your eye on. Only time will tell. So you're going to have to let it unfold. Meanwhile, get healing yourself from all of this stuff and really delve in there. But I just heard hypnotherapy. Some of you might want to get hypnotherapy and delve into this and go to a hypnotherapist and say, I want to uncover this pattern because I watched this reading. She said this, and it's true. I was in this relationship and I do keep on meeting the liars, and I want to find out want to get to the crux of that. What was the original belief that I was given that started all of this? And hypnotherapy could be a good way of sorting this stuff out. But throw anything at it. Throw anything at it. Use any modality that's going to help you get there. You know, you might be good at like just asking you guys. Sometimes I do that. Show me in a dream before I go to bed. Guys, show me what this is all about in a dream. Or, you know, I'm pretty lazy like that. Just like, show me, guys. Got something to learn here. Show me easy. Show me easily. Release control. Right now you need to release control. And so I can see why you would want to retain control with this past experience. It's like, I want to be in a relationship, but I want to be fiercely independent and remain in control at the same time. Hey, Tiki. Off she goes. You're going to get some biscuits, honey. She's got some. Okay. So it's making you want to control, be in control, which again could have you attracting the ones that aren't really in control. What else? Passion and open up. You need to open up your passion, go with the flow a little bit more, take it lighter, go wild. You know, you have this wild energy. I think you need to do that. I think you need to stop overthinking relationships. Dance in the waves, drink in the sunshine, that's it. Open up to passion and just let it be that. Don't think these things up. If you're looking for a solid relationship, and I think you are waiting for a solid relationship here, stop overthinking it. Stop overthinking it, because I think it's really tying you up in knots here. Hi. You know, trying to guide yourself from these past pains that you've been through. Trying to overthink it in that way, it's really tying you up in knots. Like someone, sure, get to know them. I'm not saying like get married to someone just based on a feeling. Don't do that. But why not just have a fun relationship, get to know someone, and while you're having a wild time with them. Yeah, have a bit of romance. Fear of inadequacy. So people are fearing the inadequacy around you, and so they're coming up with lies. Oh, there it is. There it is. Right, because of the energy you're holding, they're fearing that they're going to be inadequate, so they feel like they have to lie to you. So they're trying to justify being in a relationship with you by lying, and then you find out that they're a liar, and you're like, another one? You're setting this up, whatever it is. You've got something in your energy that is setting this up, or a behavior around that energy that is setting this up over and over again. Well, have you got someone in your life at the moment? Where's the heart at if you do? Appreciate this moment. So there's a great uncovering going on at the moment. I think this is for you. Appreciate this moment, because you really learn a lot about what's going on and the patterns that you've been in and what you've been manifesting here as a result of it. Wow. If that sounds like it is your story, it could be your story. Shells, you might want to get that deeper dive for the future part. I'm just going to do the same thing again, but for the future. If you're interested in what's coming up for you and the possible timelines for that, then get that deeper dive. I'll pop a link for up there. There's a link in the description box and in the comments below. It's 20 Australian dollars, which is about 15 American dollars right now. It's an instant watch thing, so get your email address right. Type it in very carefully, otherwise you're not going to receive it. The email might end up in your inbox, but it might end up in your spam, your junk, or your promotions folder if you're on Gmail. Check those places. In that email, you'll see a link to the crystal, to the flower, and to the shell. Click on that shell on a device where you can open PDFs. In that PDF, amongst other things, you will see a picture of a video. Now, when you click on that picture of a video, if it doesn't take you to a video right away, try it on a different device and it will. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click like on this video down there. Leave a comment as well, even if it's just to say hello, because it helps my YouTube channel out when you do that. Click on the subscribe button along with that notification bell down there as well to hear more from me. I do 3 of these Love Pick card reads a week. If you've got any suggestions of what you want me to do on, let me know in the comments below. I do a daily energy update for the collective as well. Check that out on my YouTube channel. And I also go live 3 times a week in my Psychic Cafe show where I give mini reads for donations. You can find the next show laying in wait on my YouTube channel by clicking Be Healing down there. So thank you again for watching. If this is where you're leaving me, good luck with all of this. And if you're coming with me to the deeper dive, I'll see you in there very shortly.